Okay, so I'm gonna do a little thing kind of today. Everyone liked my turning video, and we're wondering any tips and stuff. So I was gonna kind of do a whole video of a day where I just work on my turns, and I was gonna show you guys and walk you guys through what I do working on my turns with Mr. Metallic Mobster. And so first things first, I'm gonna take all of his blankets off. And there you go. All his blankets are off. Now I'm going to start with my usual grooming routine. Got my pink spray. Spray all over him. He got really filthy this time. Go to the other side. And I just use a lot of this stuff. Even in his mane, even though I don't usually brush his mane out. Because the less hair you rip out, the better. Sometimes I'll finger comb it though. And then grab my body brush. And brush him. Now he's all clean. And I'm going to tie up his tail just because we're working on spinning today so he doesn't step on his beautiful Grinch tail bag. Okay, now I got my horse's tail up. Looking nice and good. Okay, and I know a lot of people are like, horse abuse, the horse doesn't like spinning, all that kind of stuff. Well, we do take very good care of our reiners here. And they get a lot of extra treatment and a lot of protection on their legs to keep them safe and healthy through their career as reiners. So I'm going to show you guys some of the boots that I put on my horse. Okay, I actually have a lot of splints and bells. So these are some of the splints I'll use. I also have, that box is dirty, some professional choice ones. But today I'm going to use the double strap ones because they stay on a little better. So I'm going to use my pink double straps. And then I'm going to put on some of my no-turn bell boots. They're kind of dirty. They just got used yesterday. So I'm going to put on my no-turn bell boots. Okay, so now he has his front leg protection. I'm going to grab a pair of polo wraps. Let's see what we got in here. We're just going to do some basic white ones today. So some white polo wraps to put on the hind legs. Okay, and now the wraps are done. I do what's called a riding wrap. So obviously the V at the bottom. I pull across tight when I get to the front. That just adds extra tendon support. And I double wrap the bottom. So I go once around and then twice around just to give extra cushioning at the bottom. Because we are doing spinning and I don't want him to burn the bulbs of his heels. So, yep, there you go. Okay, now for saddle-wise and pad-wise, I use a BioFit Classic Equine saddle pad. This is because I'll show you on him, you can tell a lot better. So he has what's called the mobster back. That's what I call it because his bloodlines are HF mobster and a lot of the mobsters have this issue. But this shoulder, you can't tell, the pad is raised at the shoulder. He has kind of this right here. It allows the saddle more comfort. So it just has that shoulder raise that I use while I'm riding. And that's why I use a BioFit for him. And it actually works really well and fits him really well to make sure to prevent saddle sores. And then we have my saddle. I have Continental, so it's a reining saddle. And then this is my breast collar. I just have like a little ranchy breast collar. That's what I show in. And since it's show day, I'm going to put it on him just to make sure he's used to it. And I will clean all my tack before I show. And there's a saddle on him. Yeah. You can tell it's just a typical reining saddle. It has a nice seat. It's really comfortable. I love my saddle. And then I have just a regular rope cinch. I think it's a size 32, but it's a little bit older. Toby really likes rope cinches, so I just keep him in a rope cinch because that's what he prefers. That's what he likes. There's my rope cinch. And there's it on him all together. Okay, so now I'm gonna just grab my knee boot and put it on my saddle. This protects his knees. And now I'm grabbing my cavesson. This is just to use as training. And now my bit, I'm using just a regular correction, but you can use whatever your horse is comfortable with. And then I use some Ramels. And my boots have my little spurs. Toby's kind of sensitive, so I only put these small ones on him. Okay, and there you have it. So we are starting with a little warm-up. Just going to walk, trot, canter, or lope, talking English now. Walk, trot, lope each direction, and I am going to probably run a circle and slow down a circle as our warm-up. I don't put the knee boot on until after I'm done warming up and I'm actually ready to spin, so I just put it on my saddle. Okay, now I'm all warmed up. Toby right there, that's a good spot. Gonna throw on my knee boot. Oh, what's it going? You make sure it's nice and tight. This is so his knees don't knock when we're turning and he gets hurt. Okay. Make sure my cinch is tight. Since today I'm just going to be schooling the turnaround, I'm going to start. Let's start on his bad side. Julie, out of here. I'm going to start by just walking him in a tight circle. Yep, and you don't let him turn. Why aren't you there? Out of the circle. Okay, tight circle. Just going to soften his chin up. Oh, you know he's coming. Julie, out of the circle. Out of the circle. Julie, you're in the way. Julie, get out of here. Out, out, out. Good boy. You know better. Now I'm going to let him turn. Just going to school it, nice and slow. Let him go faster. Okay, so he got a little too stompy there, so that's fine. Back him up. Soften his chin. Forward. Stop. Slowly. Now I'm going to cutter turn. The cutter turn is back into a turn. Cutter turn. Okay. I'm going to go the other way. Cutter turn. Cutter turn. Okay. Now I got cutter turn. We're going to give it another go. Start again. Walk it. Julie, come here. Walk into a circle. And walk around a circle. And you're not going to let them turn. See how you want to do that? Just keep them going around in the circle. Now let him. Julie. You tried to cut out there. Just keep him going. Oh. Okay. I'm going to just soften his chin up. Let him catch his... It wasn't necessarily bad, but he gets a little stompy this way, so we got to soften that chin up. Softening the chin. Now I'm going to ride around two-handed in this turn. Okay. nose. He needs to soften his chin. So I'll probably only go one more time this way. I'm going to trot him in the circle now. Same circle, out of trot. And now let him turn. Oh, that was really good. Good pat. Oh, I feel. Okay, and I'm just going to walk him around the other way for a good while before I turn him. See how he's kind of looking towards the outside? I'm just going to tell him, hey, I'm not going to get all crooked. Keep him all nice and straight. I'm just going to let him kind of catch his breath. And I'm just creating energy with my spurs. Tapping. Creating energy. Forward movement. Now we're going to turn. Oh. This is his good way. Now I'm just going to walk him again. Lots of reward. He wants to turn again, so I'm going to just keep the forward motion. Energy with the spurs. Now how I sit when I turn is I just kind of try to stay in the center of my saddle, and I'll open up my hips. So close, you're in their way. Open up your hips so that you're out of your way. And I'll step down with the stirrup that I want to turn and create energy with the leg that I'm. So I'll create energy, step down, create energy, step down, create energy, step down. So that wasn't bad. He just wasn't as collected there, and I didn't walk him around enough. So try it again. Tight circle into turn. Step down. Okay. Didn't ask for the stop. Keep him going around. Okay. That was a good turn. He just wasn't collected into it, and I didn't set him up right. So I'm just going to collect him, get that chin, and release. And pet, because he gave me his chin. Get the chin, release, pet. Now I'm going to have him back up a bit. Now all I'm going to do is just trot forward, and then back up again. He didn't back up after his turn. He didn't give to me. Always reward. Okay. Now I'm going to walk him in that circle again, and this time I'm just going to work on keeping his head straight into the circle. So that's a look to the outside. Energy to go forward. See, looking to the outside. Tell him, hey, we're not going to look to the outside. We're going to focus on our circle. There we go. See, he dropped his head. He's still looking. He's kind of trying to sneak up here. He knows it's coming. So I'm just going to counter bend. I'm going to let him stay. This feels good, so step down. wasn't as fast, but it just felt a lot more collected and a lot more straight. It's a reward. There you go. What a good boy. Keeping in mind he is just a 4-year-old. Just a little baby.